So Amit, we are live. I'm just going to give you the link. You can unmute yourself. YouTube link also I'll be giving you.
Sure.
So I've shared that. I will wait for some time so that everybody joins. I hope you are able to see that, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing.
And again, there will be some small delay with respect to YouTube and the live that we are talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, people are joining now. 7 people have joined. Hello guys. Hello Hitesh. Hello Pranav. Hello Prabhat. Thank you Prabhat Patro. Hello Alicia. So Amit will just wait for another 2 minutes so that many people, I don't know, YouTube sends the notification very slowly. So because of that, we may have to wait for some time. I hope I am audible, right, Amit, to you?
Yes, you're loud and clear, Krish.
Okay, perfect. Hello Gaurav. Hello Rahul. Hello Venkat. Hello Shiva. Namaste Kishore. Kunal. Nalla Krishna Kirtana. Hello. Code and Coffee. Hello. Nagraj, Fahad. Hello. Everyone, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you are working well. I hope you are towards your path towards the analytics industry, right? YouTube does not notify well. Yes, I don't know. YouTube have some
Hey,
problem
Babar, how are
with me, I
you?
guess. Yeah. Tell me.
One second.
What, Amit?
No. Actually, I saw someone saying hi.
Ah, Vibor. Yes, Amit is also. Vibor says, hey, Amit and Krish. Perfect. Amit videos are very helpful. So Venkat is saying that. I think they know you.
Yeah. Thanks, Venkat.
Okay, you have to be a little bit louder, Amit. I think you're
Okay,
not
okay,
audible.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, I welcome Amit with us today in this live session. Amit is already working as a senior data analyst in iNeuron. He handles all the data analyst work along with business intelligence and many more things. And I hope you have seen his lectures on Power BI and Tableau. You have attended the live lectures from iNeuron YouTube channel. So today we have Amit who will be guiding you how to become a data analyst, what should be the path that will be taken. Uh, and many people had actually this particular question. So again, guys, I don't see likes for Amit. I don't understand why. Please give likes. So Amit, welcome again.
Thanks.
Thank you for taking out some of your important time and coming over here.
It's my pleasure
Uh,
to be with you. Really.
yeah.
Let's have looking forward to have a very productive discussion with you today. I
Uh,
was waiting for this particular time actually.
Yeah, I was also waiting to call you from many days. You know, so first of all, what is the difference between data analyst and data scientist? Amit, I think do you want to pick up this question and
Yeah.
say in short?
See, data science and data analyst are they move parallelly. So the difference is that data analyst, a guy, he works with lots and lots of data. He actually the data analyst, as a data analyst, his daily jobs, the roles and responsibilities are very much contemporary in nature. He takes lots huge of data, and he takes those past data, analyze it, cleans it, and it takes the insights from the data. Whereas in other hand, a data scientist basically works on algorithms, models, and he gives a direction to the data analyst. Okay, fine, these are the data that can be generated from this model. You have to work on this kind of data.
Okay, perfect. Amit, just not about iNeuron. I really want to know about the previous company also. What is your day-to-day work activities that you used to do? And guys, if you don't know, Amit is more than 10 years plus experience. He's been working in an industry from past, I don't know, like major chunk of his years of experience is in the analytics sector. So yes, Amit.
See, in iNeuron, my day starts with analyzing the requirement. it's very important that you should know the end user for whom you are going to create a report, or for you want to perform the analysis, the hierarchy of communications, the end users whom you are going to face, what kind of questions they are going to ask. See, the things that I'm going to tell you will not be developing in a day or two. It takes years of experience to understand the problem and to define the problem statement, the types of questions that will come to you from the end user depending upon the data. So it's all starts from requirement analysis, and then the discussions takes forward in preparing the data, and then take the questions which the stakeholders or the business owners are looking for, and then defining a report and designing a report comes into action. But 60% of my work in a day goes just for preparing the data. I must tell you, this is the roadmap that I always follow, and this is the most important part of your day-to-day activities: data preparation. Working on visuals and reports are just a thing which depends on how good you prepare your data or the data model. So that's
Okay.
what I do in my day-to-day activities.
Okay. Amit, now many people have still confusion like how they should take a path to become a data analyst. What do you think? Like, how do they start? How should they start? What should they focus on? I know, like, you not be a major coder, where you're writing some complex code and all, but at least start with some good amount of EDA and do some things. So you can just tell that particular path, like what should they focus on? Whether should they focus on databases, Power BI, Tableau? What should be the exact path so that they follow all these things,
So
to get.
yeah. To answer these questions, I'll be a bit descriptive, Krish. Please forgive me if I get into very much detail, because
That's okay.
I, being from a very diverse background, I have done my studies in commerce. So I'm a commerce student, but yeah, I have an advantage of working with pure maths. I was a pure There was a pure maths in my background. Maths is very important first, but forget about everything. No, just think that okay, fine. You just one thing that you need is a intuition. So I started investing the point that from where I started realizing, okay, fine, that I really want to explore this particular area is all about my intuition. I started looking the data, that what are the other information that I can gather from this particular piece of data which is not available over there. How can I get that? See, data analysis domain or field is depend on two things: methods and tools. Now you need that particular intuition to find when you come across a data. In my past experience working with e-commerce companies or healthcare domain, so I used to, my day-to-day work was involving a part of data where I was not supposed to do the analysis, but yeah, I was referring those data as in terms of understanding the trend, as the figures, particular last, the values of the data. But suddenly one day I started exploring those. Okay, fine, I can get some more information from this particular data. Now in order to explore those information, I took the help of certain methods and tools. And the best tool that I came across at the initial days when I started learning is Excel, and then I moved to Tableau, and then to Power BI. See, when you see things visually in front of you, okay, fine, I have made this particular report used by Tableau or Power BI. Then you'll start the exploration as how we can integrate other tools like Python, like how this Python tool can be integrated, how this SQL database I can fetch the data from this database. These all things starts from a single point, and for me that was a Tableau, Excel, and Power BI. From there I started branching out into the other sectors, exploring Python, a bit of statistics. So these are the things you need to be very much focused. Okay, fine, this is the data, I need some information, let's do a bit of Google, let's ask the concerned person over LinkedIn. I got a data set, I want this information, from where I should start. And that is what my point when I started going out this particular field. That's
Amazing. Amazing. So in short, like, you should focus more on the things that are related, like you're taking an example of Power BI, Tableau. You started understanding that how you can integrate a programming language into it.
correct.
But considering all this, how important is a programming language? Like, do you also do some kind of EDA stuff, to understand something more about the data itself?
See, programming, excuse me, programming is a very integral part of data analysis. You need to have a programming knowledge. But a person who is starting this particular journey of data analysis, getting into the programming in the initial stage, when I say initial stage means few months, will be a kind of a very what you can say, it kind of very confusing things, because things will get complicated at a very single point. What you can do after exploring this field for first 1-2 months, then you start your programming things, how you can integrate your code, how, what is the importance of integrating your code. Programming is a very important part in data analysis field. You should focus on programming, because lot of components of data analysis needs to be hard coded. So programming plays a very important role. And if you want to know any language particularly, go for Python. Python is a very easy language. It's a learner's language. Even a guy like me who was working with a hardcore data tools and methods, it was quite easy for me to understand some of the concepts of Python and implement in my day-to-day activities. And yes, exploratory data analysis is an important part when you start learning working with programming language, when you start working with coding. That's what.
Okay, Amit, now since you came from a non-programming background, like commerce basically means I'll consider it as a non-programming background.
Correct, correct.
Definitely you'll be having some amount of domain knowledge on that, because if really you want to visualize, or if you want to explore some financial data, I think you'll be comfortable with that, right?
Yes, yes, that's the biggest plus point of having in the data analysis. So if you have a finance domain, if you have a commerce background, you can rock, guys. You can simply.
Uh, Okay. So now considering this, first just I'll come to that domain part, but tell me like from a non-programming background, and many people are there, from a non-programming background, they are planning to become a data scientist also, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Now, what if they take a path from non-programming background to become a data analyst and then to become a data scientist? I
Perfect.
think this path will be pretty much sufficient, right? And it will be pretty much easy. So, what do you think for a non-programming background to become a data analyst? What kind of path they should take? What should they learn? What should be the flow of the whole learning pattern that they should follow?
Oh, see, the thing is that I always consider data analysis as the doorway of data science. So that's the best part. If you're from a non-programming background, if you like a person like me, simple, a person like me, I didn't even know the any programming code. I just used to heard my friends working. I'm working in Java. I work in Python. I work in some other languages, some database, MongoDB, and all. So I used to see, okay, these are all data science. This field needs a hardcore programming language. But as I started investing my knowledge and my energy, I felt that data, if you start your journey from a data analysis point of view, working with tools with which you can integrate those things on which the data scientist works, it will be easy for you to understand that particular integration.
Okay.
That's matter. So you can start with learning tools first, which actually takes the data which are coming from any, which are generated from any model that is has been created by a data scientist. Then it will be easy for you to understand some of the components of data science, and you will slowly and gradually will become more and more accustomed to that particular, what you can say, that particular part of learning. That's the best way you can learn that.
Okay. So thank you for saying the path. This path is very much necessary, and most of the queries that also I get right from non-technical background or non-coding background, they say that data science is pretty much difficult for us. And what I would suggest, I think you will also agree with that, that start going with a data analyst, make an initial goal as a data analyst, and then plan to
Perfect.
make into switch into data scientist whenever they are comfortable with it, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay, perfect. So, Amit, apart from this, what is the major difficulties that you actually face in your job?
Yeah.
Not only in this, not only in iNeuron company, I also want to know about your previous companies and other things.
See, the first thing that I want to focus, that I want to mention, and I want each and every guy who is listening to me to take it on priority. Things will be very much confusing at the beginning. You will having no clue from which point you have to start from your data analysis work. So this was a very see. I have always worked as an individual contributor in my past experience. I never worked with any other team or uh, any other group of people. So I used to always, my hierarchy of communication was always with the CEO or the CTOs. Even in iNeuron also, I report directly to the Shudanshu, is the CEO of the company. So my hierarchy of communication was in such a, with such people who used to believe in numbers. They don't understand calculations. They don't know the effort that you're putting building a report, the calculations, the formulas. They only need to know the formula. They need to know the numbers. They need to know the graphs properly. And that is where things get more complicated. The only point from where you can focus is first understand the business. Please invest a major chunk of your knowledge transfer or major chunk of your induction when you get into a data analysis role in a new company. Understand the business. Once the business components are in your mind, it will be easy for you to start the things. And that is the mistake that I have done in my initial days. So I thought that, okay, fine, the data will be coming in front of me and I have to start. No, never do that.
Okay,
Once
Amit,
you
one.
understand the pillars of the business, the components of business, and believe me, guys, things will be automatically will fail in their place. You don't have to put much effort. The effort is understanding the business, and that is where your expertise will come. Your common sense will come into focus.
Perfect. So, Amit, one question that I think from the subscriber, they're saying that it is really confusing to know from where to start and how should be the learning pattern. So, can you just tell some steps like first you have to go with this, then second you have to go with that, then third you have to be good
Yeah.
at that, like
See,
that?
there is in my class, I always share a model. If you guys, if people who have attended my session, the BI project execution model, which I share to everybody. That is the golden rule for which I consider, which I actually follow even today also. There are 5 to 6 important steps. The very first step is start understanding the business. What kind of business we are in, the product base, consumer base, service base. And next comes the data understanding. What kind of data the business is collecting? Whether the data is a structured data, unstructured data, the data needs to be modeled or the data needs to be cleaned, transformed. So the second part is data understanding. Once you understand the data, then the next step is preparing the data, which I told you, which I do in my day-to-day work with iNeuron, in my past experience. Preparing the data, cleaning, structuring, removing the ambiguities, everything. And then comes to the most important, the most sophisticated step, that is data modeling. Modeling means preparing the data model, breaking the data tables into dimension, facts, establishing connections, using formulas, functions to make that particular data model and to take out those information which is not there in the data. And then at the last, it comes the report. Now, report maybe sounds very easy. No, once you prepare, once you invest 70% of your time in preparing that data model and the transformation part, when you prepare report, if your report fail to answer the business questions, that means you have failed to understand the business. And if you get success in answering the questions of your stakeholders and the business, the problem, specific problem, answering a specific problem that a business is facing, that means you have got the hold in your work and now you're good to go. And now from here you can just take things easily and you can deploy things in the next stage. So focus on understanding the business first, second data understanding, third preparing and modeling the data, fourth report, and then deployment. That's it. So major chunk of your energy or you have to invest in understanding the business at the very first step. That's all. That's why in my course, even the course that I'm starting from tomorrow, I always focus on business scenarios. That is very important to understand any business tool or methods.
Okay, Amit, one more, like how important is domain knowledge with respect to data analyst or data scientist in short?
Yeah, domain knowledge is a very important thing. Obviously, now in nowadays, every business is getting digitized. If you look around, a lot of 90% of the business are getting digitized. Now, digitization actually making this domain part is very crucial. To be a domain expert becomes a very crucial with the because the data is getting collected in huge number in different business which are getting digitalized. Now what happens, why I'm saying a domain knowledge is important, because with the evolution of technology, with the evolution of new technical infrastructure, a business is able to branch out in a very what you can say, in a very detailed way. So any domain that you're working, least sure I can give you in written that that domain is getting more and more dynamic and more flexible and more big as the days are passing with the involvement of more technology and all. That's why domain knowledge is very important, whether it can be an education, whether it's a healthcare or any domain you go. If you become a domain expert, yes, you will always have an edge over your career or over your any future endeavors.
Okay. So, guys, if you don't know, iNeuron is coming up with the business analytics course, which is an affordable course. And again, Amit Bose will be the mentor for that. All the information is given in the description. Amit, would you like to talk about the course itself? Like what things we are going to learn in the course, how it
Yeah.
will be going to be helpful for everyone?
Yeah, actually, in my during my work with iNeuron, when I used to take the community classes, I used to get a lot of messages from the learners. Sir, Amit, why can't we have something like that where we can learn an end-to-end implementation of the data analysis part? So, keeping in that mind, there were a lot of people from the diverse career background who are quite interested to be have to learn something where they can learn everything in one go, in one place, with a project experience, with a project portfolio, with a good knowledge of business scenarios and examples, how to implement every aspect. So keeping in that mind, I came up with this particular course of business analytics master course, which are going to start from tomorrow. In this course, actually, I have focused the learning more on the practical way, which I always have done from the very first, but with some new additions of like, I'll be talking about how you can improve your day-to-day work, the best practices, the best approaches, because a lot of people will be coming over here first, which I have considered is from a non-technical background first. Second, a lot of people will be coming from a diverse background like civil engineering or mechanical engineering. So I was always keen in preparing a course uh, where people from any background can easily come and learn and can implement and can talk about that, can work on that by the end of this course. So they can be talking in terms of a data. Their decisions will be data driven decisions. So this particular course will focus has focused only on hands on examples, scenarios, the best practices that we can implement, the best approach to a problem, considering your end user, the hierarchy of communication, everything. That's what.
Okay, perfect, Amit. So, guys, tomorrow the course is going to start. So, today is the last day of enrollment. So, just try to enroll it if you're interested into it. And again, Amit Bose will be the instructor for that. And then the course will be for 4 months. And the timing is between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST. So, with that particular time only, it will be working on. Amit, I think you can take up some questions. I think if you have opened the YouTube video, I think you can see some of the questions that people have asked. You can pick up those questions and you can answer them if possible.
Sure, sure, sure. Just let me check if I can. Okay, fine. So,
You can pick up any questions as per your convenience.
okay, Kamesh is asking how to start a career in cricket analytics. Oh, that's an interesting question, Kamesh. Okay, so you mean to say you want to be those guys who work with the Star or the ESPN who actually do the analysis
No,
on the.
no, actually, I've seen in this IPL, currently going IPL, right? In teams like RCB and Mumbai Indians, they have a specific separate data analyst, who will be continuously seeing the performance of the players, and based on that, they'll be recommending which player to take and all. So
Kamesh,
probably.
let me make things very easy for you. So, few months ago, last year only, I got a call for this from BCCI for this cricket analytics post only. So, I still have that email. The thing is that you need to have a very, very what you can see, what I can say, a very, very expressive resume. Your resume should be, you'll be starting with your projects, or not only projects, some hardcore projects on data analytics. For example, if you have worked for Coca-Cola, a company like Coca-Cola, a company like where you have worked with Philips, where you have done hardcore codings and hardcore analysis. I have seen from my, because some of my references also appeared for this interview, they prefer people with some hardcore grilling with data. Well, they don't entertain like people who are just on the reporting, creating a simple analysis dashboard and all. So that's what I have got the feedback who have attended those interview. Unfortunately, I was not in a position to attend that interview that period of time due to some personal issues. But yes, cricket analytics is a very, very very, very creative, very, very creative domain you can invest, because if you in India, if you are a cricket analytics, then you have a very nice learning curve, very good learning curve. So you can do that, you can start your career, you can apply through some of the cricketing sports channel. They have a lot of vacancies in LinkedIn also. You will get a lot of offers in terms of cricket analytics vacancies. That's not a big deal.
So Abhishek Mighty says that I've done community Power BI and Tableau class, so it is necessary to take this course.
Yes, Abhishek, because by the end of this course you will be having a project portfolio. You'll be knowing how to approach for a business problems or business scenario in terms of solving it with the help of tools and methods where the data is involved. I'll be also be focusing on a lot of things apart from reporting, like resume discussions. Also, I'll make sure I'll it will be not a separate session, but I'll make sure that these things will be there as a part of my daily discussions. I'll give you some important tips and tricks to master any tool or to master any approach if you're not aware of that particular approach or scenario. So there's a lot of things that I'm coming up with in this course.
So one question from Rajesh Kumar says that how to use analytics IT service management.
Mhm.
How to use analytics IT service management. Can you just be clear, Rajesh? What was the question?
Yeah, yeah. Even I'm confused. Analytics.
Okay. Oh, okay. Which website should I refer? Okay, this is fine. Mm. Guys, and Amit, can you tell about the certification? Is certification important? Because
No,
many people are actually confused with the certification. They
guys,
always say that. Okay,
remember one thing. Don't focus on certification. Focus on learning the skills. Focus on handling the scenarios. That is what your expertise will count. Because whatever interview I take, even the person from comes from an XYZ institute or a college, it doesn't matter for me, because I only focus on how good he can solve a problem. I just test his common sense, a basic common sense. For example, people who are the people who comes from says I'm having 1 year of experience. I just ask them a simple question: calculated measures or calculated column for Power BI. Tell me your answer, and by that I can judge the way he deals a problem. I never look to his certificate. I just see how much common sense that person has to solve a problem. You don't need any certification or any high funder degree to solve a problem. You just need basic common sense with the help of certain tools and methods. That's it. I again repeat, you can post your answers in the chat window. People who work with Power BI, calculated measures or calculated columns, which one you'll go for? That's it. And rest of the questions I don't ask much questions in my interview.
okay, Amit. One question was that what skills we need to have in our resume for data analyst?
SQL, very
Okay,
important. SQL Server, understanding of the SQL Server is very, very important part. Python, statistics, programming language, Python. Okay, when I'm say Python for data analysis, in my domain, when I use Python, I use the visualization part of Python. I try to understand the visualization part of using Python and how I can integrate Python with tools like Power BI and Tableau. And what will be the end, what will be the output when I integrate a Python, at what scenario I should integrate, at what scenario I should focus on hard coding a particular problem instead of using a tools and methods certain. So SQL, Python, Tableau, Power BI by default, these are the market leaders, guys, because these tools are becoming more and more smarter day by day with the involvement of machine learning and AI features. So be sure that if you're working with Power BI, even a lot of companies are actually transiting to the Power BI reporting structure or Tableau reporting structure. Recently there are a lot of things that I come across, a lot of blogs I come across. So Power BI, Tableau, Python, SQL. Start with this. Excel will be by default because Excel will be a very important part. You will learn it automatically. And if you want to push yourself more and more further, start learning statistics, which is also there in my course that I'm starting from tomorrow.
perfect. So Amit, what Devan Suri has a question. What kind of projects will be working on this program? That basically means business intelligence classes that you're going to start from tomorrow.
My focus will be on the customer analysis, e-commerce, real estate, kind of. These are the domains which actually requires a very good amount of expertise too, because e-commerce is the next big thing that we are guys are looking forward. Because now,
And how many projects are you looking at? Like, what will be the
more or less
program?
10 to 15 projects in this particular course.
Amazing. Amazing. So trying, okay, there are some common questions which I'm actually seeing, but okay, what are, I think, let me see this question.
Yeah,
Just a
this Tahir is looking for business good. Laptop, decent laptop means you'll need to have a minimum hard 8 GB RAM. That's it. And the rest of the things can be taken care of.
Yeah. So just tell me, like, what is the maximum amount of data that you have worked on as being a data analyst?
In terms of data size, you asking or?
Yeah, data size, the whole size.
Uh, I have worked, no idea. I have worked with millions and millions of rows of data. So I still remember I worked on a file, on a data file which size was, I guess, 3.5 GB.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a that 3.5 GB of a data when I was exporting that data into my flat file.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge amount of data that I worked with till now. I approximately I might be have worked with more large amount of data, but yeah, that was the number that came into mind because I saw that particular file size.
Okay.
That's what.
Perfect. So yes, so Amit, thank you for being with us. And I guess, guys,
Video, Krish.
we have spoke more about it. And probably, if you really want to get connected to Amit, you can get connected through his LinkedIn ID that is given in the description of this particular video. And yes, tomorrow the session is going to start. Again, the fees is affordable. That is 3540 INR again for the whole course. Not even 1,000 per month I can consider, because the course will be going for 4 months. And yes, Amit will be your mentor for tomorrow's session that we are going to start. So thank you, Amit. Any last thing that you really want to say before we end?
Yeah. So I'll be taking this course for 2 hours every day. But guys, remember, 2 hours to focusing 2 hours for you at this particular stage will be a bit difficult. When I started learning these particular skills, I started with 30 minutes minimum. Invest 30 minutes of your time, whatever class you attend it. Focus for 30 minutes is enough for you guys, and the rest of the things will be easily clear for you. That's what I want to say. Start with 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes will become 30 hours one day. And that's the motivation that I get while learning. That's all.
So I also say the same thing, guys. At least you invest 30 minutes to 1 hour daily. I think we'll be able to learn a lot.
Enough, enough.
But every day, make it as a practice. Every day, make it as a practice to learn something new. So thank you, Amit, and again, best of luck for tomorrow's course.
Thanks, Chris.
Again, anyhow, we'll be also there. So, guys, how much analytics require for data scientist? Ankit, I'll answer that in my data science video. Don't worry. Okay. So thank you all for seeing this video. Hit
Thank you,
like for
guys.
Amit, guys, and yes, I'll be seeing on tomorrow's video. Amit will always be there. Again, he's a part of our team, so definitely anytime this kind of sessions I'll do with Amit if you really want, again and again, where we'll be able to share knowledge as much as possible. So thank you, Amit,
Thank
for
you, Krish.
giving
Yeah.
your time, and yeah, thank you, guys. Please do hit like for Amit. I'll see you all
Thank
in
you.
the next video. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.